If your garden turns into a sticky mess every time it rains, or feels like dried concrete when the sun comes out, then you're likely battling the all-too-common curse of clay soil. It's heavy, suffocating to roots, and nearly impossible to work with when dry or wet. But what if there was one powerful ingredient that could permanently change how your soil feels, drains, and grows? Not just a quick fix, but something deeper. Many gardeners rush to compost to fix their soil, but there's a richer, longer-lasting solution that's often misunderstood: humus. In this guide, we're going to break down the difference between compost and humus, how one becomes the other, and the exact method to fast-track humus formation using something most gardeners overlook: forest soil or untouched land. This could be the game-changer your clay-packed garden has been waiting for. Compost is the first step toward regenerating any dead or lifeless soil. It's a mix of decomposed organic matter, kitchen scraps, dried leaves, grass clippings, manure, all broken down by bacteria, fungi, and worms into a rich, dark material that's full of life. Compost is active, teeming with microbes, and excellent at feeding plants and improving soil texture. But compost is not yet humus. It's the raw ingredient, the starter culture. It feeds the soil and energizes the ecosystem, but it's still in flux, still breaking down. Compost improves clay soil by adding fluff, increasing drainage, and making nutrients more available. But if you stop there, those gains can fade. Over time, the microbes will continue consuming the organic matter until it's mostly gone. That's where humus comes in. Humus is what's left when compost is fully broken down to its most stable form. It's dark, crumbly, sponge-like, and nearly impossible to break down any further. Think of it as the skeleton of old compost, what remains after years of decomposition, refinement, and microbial processing. But don't confuse humus with compost. While compost is still breaking down, humus is finished, and that's precisely what makes it the key to long-term clay soil transformation. Humus binds to clay particles and creates air gaps, permanently changing the structure of the soil. It holds moisture, yet drains well. It stores nutrients like a battery, releasing them slowly over time. And best of all, humus sticks around. While compost disappears in a season or two, humus can persist in the soil for decades. This is why forests grow tall and rich without fertilizers. The soil is layered with humus, built up over time through a slow but powerful natural process. Many gardeners think dumping loads of compost onto clay is the solution, and in the short term, it helps. Water drains better, roots go deeper, and earthworms return. But after a year or two, if no humus has formed, all that effort can fade. The clay recompacts, the richness disappears, and you're back where you started. To fix clay soil for good, you need to go deeper than just composting. You need to build humus. And while that sounds like a slow, multi-year process, there's a way to speed it up dramatically, by borrowing nature's own shortcut. If you've ever walked in a forest, you've probably seen soil that's dark, moist, and crumbly underfoot. That's humus-rich earth, naturally built over decades by fallen leaves, decaying wood, fungi, and soil-dwelling organisms. What most gardeners don't realize is that this soil is full of humus-forming microbes and fungal networks that can jumpstart the same process in your own garden. Here's how it works. When you mix a handful or two of forest soil, or soil from a wild, undisturbed area, with your compost and clay soil, you introduce a powerful army of native microbes and fungi already specialized in breaking down organic matter into humus. These organisms don't just digest, they rebuild. They bind clay particles with organic compounds, form soil aggregates, and create a stable, fertile structure underneath the surface. To use this method, dig compost into your clay bed as usual, but blend in scoops of forest soil throughout the area. Water it in lightly, and mulch the surface to keep conditions moist. When compost meets forest soil in a clay bed, you're combining raw energy with ancient wisdom. Compost feeds the microbes and adds bulk. Forest soil seeds the right biology to process that compost into something stable and enduring. Together, they set off a chain reaction. Fungi knit soil particles together, bacteria unlock nutrients, and worms tunnel pathways for roots and water. Over a season or two, your heavy, sticky clay starts transforming into something else entirely. Soil that holds together, but crumbles in your hand. It smells rich and earthy, roots penetrate it easily, plants grow faster and stay healthier, and it doesn't collapse when you stop adding compost because now the humus is in place. If you've been struggling with stubborn clay soil, compost is a necessary step, but it's only half the journey. The real transformation happens when compost matures into humus, and you can speed that up by borrowing a little bit of wild biology from the forest floor. This method doesn't require fancy tools or expensive amendments, just your compost pile and a few scoops of untouched soil from a place where nature still knows what it's doing. Want to turn your sticky garden into a thriving oasis that never needs digging again? Start building humus today. Mix compost with living soil, protect it with mulch, and let nature do the rest. If this guide helped clarify things for you, hit that subscribe button and share this with a fellow gardener battling clay soil. More regenerative secrets coming your way, only here on Hydro Haven.